Thanks to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video. The brand new iPhone 14 is already old news. That's because Apple is planning one more event before the end of 2022 where we should see a ton of brand new products. We're talking new Macs, iPads, HomePods, and maybe even another new iPhone before the end of the year. So as we always do here on the Apple Circle, let's break down the latest Apple leaks, news, and rumors that you need to know about, including the top 8 or so biggest new products coming from Apple before the end of 2022, or maybe early into 2023. There have been some crazy last-minute leaks that have Apple very, very angry. Let me tell you why Tim Cook is so upset. It seems like just yesterday we were flying into the Cupertino spaceship and Tim Cook graced us on our screens and gave his classic
"Good morning."
But AirPods Pro, Apple Watch Ultra, even the iPhone 14 Pro, it's all gonna be old news because Apple is planning to launch another new set of products that'll be more exciting and more new than what was just announced. In fact, I think for a lot of you guys watching this video, what's coming next from Apple is gonna be way more exciting than the oh so controversial little dynamic island. Now, I should also mention that this whole October event is being called into question. Though Apple is still expected to release new products, we don't know how they're going to do it. Mark Gurman over at Bloomberg said a few weeks ago that Apple could hold 2 events, one in September for the iPhone 14 and AirPods and stuff like that, then one in October for new Macs, iPads, and some other goodies we'll get to. But now he's saying that there might not be enough to justify the event, so Apple might just do a flurry of press releases and then update their website with these new products. So not sure if Apple's gonna hold an official, live event or if they're just gonna do some stealth upgrades, but either way, lots of new Apple products are coming very soon. Well, let's start first with what should definitely be getting an upgrade and also a product line that is a little controversial right now, a lot of drama around this one, and that of course is the iPad. And we can get into the drama down below in the comments, but essentially iPadOS 16 has been delayed until October. There's a lot of issues and a lot of controversy surrounding Stage Manager. Apple really seems to be limiting the software of the iPad, specifically with the iPad Pro, so maybe some new hardware could change that story and make the iPad Pro better than ever, right? Well, honestly, it's a little confusing because there's a lot we know and certainly a lot we don't know about the iPad Pro for 2022. At first, when these rumors, sort of emerged, we had heard that the iPad Pro was gonna get a major redesign. It could get a glass back for wireless charging. We could get MagSafe support. There'd be a really big Apple logo where you could sort of put things down to do reverse wireless charging. A lot of really exciting rumors emerged a couple of months ago that made the iPad Pro seem really cool for 2022, but the closer we actually get to an event, the less we actually know, and the rumors about a big redesign and MagSafe support and stuff like that, it's not really clear if that stuff actually is going to happen this year or not. But what we do know is that 2 things are for sure very likely going to happen. I don't know if that sentence made sense, but here's what we know. First, there are going to be 2 different size options of the iPad Pro, an 11 and 12.9 inch version, but unlike what rumors initially speculated, there will not be a high-end mini LED model for the 11 inch size. If you want the best screen and you want that mini LED tech, you're gonna have to spend the extra money and lug around an even bigger iPad and go with the 12.9 inch model. The second thing we pretty much know is that there will be now an M2 version of the iPad Pro with this latest and greatest update. Apple is going to continue to put their M series desktop level chip in the iPad Pro, but why they're doing that, we just don't know. There's been a lot of rumors and speculation around Pro Apps and Final Cut Pro on the iPad Pro, but there has been no new evidence to suggest that's actually going to happen. And as Stage Manager has seen some issues and iPadOS is sort of, again, it's got some controversy right now, we don't know what's gonna be fixed by adding the M2 in the iPad Pro. Let me know your thoughts to all the iPad Pro drama down below, because that's about all we know about the iPad Pro as of right now. And if all the leaks we've already gotten on iPad Pros wasn't enough confirmation, Logitech already accidentally sort of leaked the iPad Pro early on their website that said it was coming soon. All right, so while the iPad Pro doesn't look like it's gonna get a huge upgrade this year, according to the rumors, that's not going to be the same story for the other iPad at this event. That's going to be, well, I guess expected at the event, and that is the base iPad, the entry level $299, $329, depending on which store you pick it up at, base iPad iPad is expected to get a number of pretty significant upgrades this fall. Probably the biggest change is going to be the design. Not only is the screen expected to get slightly larger from 10.2 to 10.5 inches, but the design of this iPad is going to totally change to look a whole lot more like the iPad Pro, the iPad Air, and the iPad Mini. Apple is expected to embrace this industrial design language, the boxy edges, squared off corners, and they're finally going to bring that design DNA down the line to the very cheapest entry-level iPad model. And while a design change would be really great to see and would make it way more in line with the other iPad models, there still is some debate about Touch ID and how we could see that. Apple could kind of go two ways. One, according to some alleged leaked renders, they could just keep the Touch ID home button in its same place as it's been for years. Basically, can you believe it's been since the 5S that we got a Touch ID powered home button? Sort of crazy to think about, but that could still be the same case on the base iPad, or Apple could pull a move from the iPad Air and the iPad Mini and build Touch ID into the power button. As of right now, we don't know which way Apple is going to go with this, but there probably will not be Face ID on this entry-level iPad, but instead, Touch ID will be sticking around in one form or another. And then two more upgrades here worth noting. One is 5G support in the base entry-level iPad, so that should be super cool to see. And then we also should be getting, how could I forget? USB-C finally coming to the entry-level iPad. And I think with that transition, that would complete the iPad as being all USB-C. And correct me if I'm wrong down below, but I think that means the only Lightning devices, official devices sold by Apple these days, modern devices, would be the AirPod line, so AirPods Pro, AirPods Max, regular AirPods, and then of course all the iPhone models. But I think the iPad being USB-C sort of leaves just those devices on Lightning. At least that should be the case for just a little bit longer. Let's take a quick break because I want to show off an amazing game that is going to bring a true console level experience right to your phone. It's a game that's pitting good versus evil, champions against bosses. Of course, I'm talking about the one, the only, this video's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. Let me break down my top 3 reasons why you should be playing Raid right now. First for me is the graphics. You're getting a console level experience here, and everything with Raid just looks incredible on any device you've got. Number 2 is another easy one for me, and that is just that there is so much stuff to always be doing inside of Raid. If you just want to grind it out in the campaign and level up, you can totally do that. Or one of my favorites is jumping into Tag Team Arena. And number 3 for me is that Raid is being updated all the time. And this month, Raid just released a giant new feature called Awakening and a brutal new dungeon, the Iron Twins Fortress. And if you're good enough to take down the Iron Twins Fortress, you'll be able to awaken your champion, which lets you choose a powerful blessing that you can use to transform how they perform in battle. But there is even more. Raid just released their super-powered legendary version of Death Knight. This is Ultimate Death Knight, and it's here to be poised and powerful, and also available for everyone who can get them for free just by logging in and playing Raid for 7 days between now and October 27th. Use the DK Rises promo code for a bunch of free items, including the ability to instantly level your new strongest champion all the way to a level 50 and 5-star ascension. And the best time to jump into Raid and start playing is right now. In fact, if you go through my special link down below or you scan the special QR code on screen right there, you're gonna get some unique bonuses worth $30. We're talking a free epic champion, Tayrell, 200,000 silver, 1 energy refill, 1 XP boost, and 1 ancient shard you can use to summon your awesome champion in the game as soon as you jump in. And these unique bonuses will be available for the next 30 days and only for new players. So again, what are you waiting for? Jump into Raid right now and start playing and get those unique bonuses for yourself right now for a limited time. Again, hit the link right down below to learn more, scan the special QR code on screen, and jump into Raid and start playing right now. Have fun, and I'll see ya in the game. Let me talk about a couple of wildcard products that may or may not arrive that would be super cool to see and that have been in the rumor mill for a while that could finally make their debut sometime next month. One that is sort of a surprise to many is an all-new full-size HomePod. Yeah, Apple has the HomePod Mini, and they discontinued the larger, more expensive HomePod, but according to analysts and industry insiders, Apple is going to be bringing back a full-size HomePod with probably a very similar design, but hopefully some upgraded, all-new internals that should make this thing sound just amazing. There has also been a lot of speculation about an iMac Pro, Apple working on a 27-inch higher-end Pro-focused version of the iMac. I'm not sure if that's still happening or not. There were talks that it was in the production pipeline and we could see it sometime maybe this year, next year. But now with the Studio Display and the Mac Studio, I'm not sure if Apple even needs to make an iMac Pro. I almost said iPad Pro, iMac Pro. So that is still sort of TBD. And of course, the last wildcard rumor, as always, is a new iPhone. Could we see another new iPhone before the end of the year? And if so, what new model could we see? Could Apple be surprising us all and bringing back the iPhone 14 mini as sort of a new addition to the lineup? No, that's just not gonna happen. Really, the only other iPhone we could see either this year or sometime next year would be an update to the iPhone SE in the form of iPhone SE 4. But as of right now, it doesn't look like that's gonna happen. There have been no credible leaks to suggest that's gonna happen. And also, if we sort of look at modern Apple history, they've done new iPhone SEs every other year. So there was the iPhone SE 2 in 2020, the iPhone SE 3 in 2022. So we're probably looking at 2024 for the iPhone SE 4. And like I just mentioned, the other big emphasis will be, of course, on new Macs, with a couple of new Mac models expected to make their debut in the next couple of weeks. One is an update to the MacBook Pro. Now, no new design change here is expected. Everyone is still loving the redesigned SD card equipped MacBook Pro, but instead, this new model would focus less on a redesign and more on the internals, with a simple update here from the M1 Pro and M1 Max to, you guessed it, the M2 Pro and the M2 Max. It's unclear right now how big of an upgrade those new processors are going to be, but if you are in the market for a MacBook Pro and you want the latest and greatest, it might be worth waiting just a couple more weeks until these new ones come out so you can get the new and improved M2 equipped MacBook Pro. There have also been rumors on and off about an M2 Mac Mini as well. You might remember we heard a while ago that Apple was going to redesign the Mac Mini and make it more colorful and give it this new industrial design that would look really nice and sort of bring it in line with the modern Apple desktops and laptops. But according to other industry insiders that are sort of conflicting on this, you may not see a redesign on the Mac Mini after all, though an M2 upgrade from the M1 does make a lot of sense and should be happening sooner than later. We also should be seeing M2 upgrades to the other existing Macs in the lineup. Probably no redesign, but just spec upgrades like the MacBook Pro. So we should hopefully see the iMac get the M2 from the M1, and then the Mac Studio. I'm not sure if they're gonna do M2 Max and then M2 Ultra, or how they're going to do that. I think a lot of that is going to hinge on the next product we could see, but be on the lookout for some M2 updates coming to those Mac desktops. And then of course, what we're sort of waiting to see is the all new Apple silicon-powered redesigned Mac Pro, the Mac Daddy to rule them all, which will most likely be the more expensive and most powerful Mac we've seen yet. Apple has teased that this would be coming for quite some time, and there's really little we know about this. According to Mark Gurman over at Bloomberg, this will be housing the M2 Extreme processor and should be smaller than the current Mac Pro we have right now, but we really don't know what it's gonna look like, how it's gonna work, what it's gonna be priced at, how fast it's going to be. But if you are in the market for the latest and greatest Mac, you want the most power at your fingertips possible, and you're ready to shell out some money, this new Mac Pro should hopefully be coming before the end of 2022. As always, what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on iPad Pro, base iPad, an iPhone SE Surprise, the new Macs? What are you excited to see, and do you think these are worthy upgrades, or do you think Apple is sort of just getting new products out just to get new products out? Is there a lot of hype around this? Do you think it's worthy of it, or do you think that this is just sort of boring? Let me know your thoughts down below. As always, I appreciate you guys watching so much. Thank you as always. Thank you so much. I'm Robert Rosenfeld from the Apple Circle, and I'll see you all in the next one.